Hello, this is Dr. Glenn Shepard. I am making several videos about various topics that's related to my series of Freedom, Love, Joy, and the promotion of those goals. This one is on evolution of human consciousness, and the question is, what is consciousness? We really don't know. Scientists are working very hard. It's like they're finding consciousness in almost everything. It seems like consciousness is just everywhere in the universe. It permeates uh, the universe. It appears with quantum theories and uh, research that the universe is tremendous size, and that consciousness seems to be everywhere. And many people think that consciousness actually manifests in physical matter, and that's what physical matter really is. That everything actually is consciousness, and every physical matter in the universe has some form of consciousness within it. Okay, every cell, every atom, every plant, every bird, has some form of consciousness. Well, what we're dealing with now is human consciousness. What is the human consciousness? Because we all have some kind of consciousness, like I said, if it's a bird or a plant or the earth or river, has some form of consciousness. But what is human consciousness, and why should we be concerned? And what can we do to make human consciousness grow and develop as we hope it would? Okay. And the individual evolution of consciousness means that you grow and develop by stages, okay? And there's several theories. You need to be just somewhat familiar with the stages that you go through as an individual in your evolution. And Piaget's theory of the stages you go through is you have to go through each of these stages. As a small child, you have to go through the sensory motor stage, and then you get older, you get pre-operational stage from 2 to 7 years old, and then you begin as a child from 7 to 11 become concrete operational. Well, you can't really do that when you're a very young child. You have to go through these stages. And then formal operations is not till after 11 years old we become adults, and actually not everyone reaches full formal operations, and they're not actually able to think abstractly, and because they haven't reached that developmental stage yet. Okay, so that's a problem. And there's another developmental hierarchy of needs that Maslow developed, and it basically is talking about how our consciousness needs to develop in these stages. They first need biological needs and safety needs. Okay, you need food, you need shelter, you need all these things in order to survive and to grow. Your consciousness is not going to grow and develop unless you have needs met. Okay, and so you also need belongingness and your love and esteem needs. Okay, in order for your consciousness to grow. And so then you begin to understand and you become self-actualized, that you're becoming aware of yourself and the world, and you reach some sort of transcendence. Okay, but we all go through these stages. some way, or we don't go through them. These are the stages we need to go through in order to develop as we want to, our human evolution. And another stage was moral development. Lawrence Kohlberg developed these 6 types of stages of moral development, and start out as a child with punishment and then reward. Okay, these are ways of developing moral ideology. Okay, and that's how people learn. They learn by being punished if you do something wrong, and then you're rewarded when you do something right. Well, then when you get older, you develop your reasoning better, and then your law and order is the reason that you want to do right, because the law is telling you to. And then there's other levels, the good boy attitude, the self-interest. But then there's the higher levels of a social contract and a principle. This means that you do things because you believe it's right for society, and then the highest levels you do it because you know you reached your own moral decisions, and you can do things on your own now, think on your own. Well, there's many factors that challenge our individual growth in our evolution, and those factors have to do with groups of people, because groups of people have their own thinking too, and we belong to groups. We belong to our family, our friends, at school we have groups. We have the church that we go to, that becomes our group. Our politics in Washington, or however you, those political groups influence your mind, your consciousness, okay? It influences what you think or how you think about yourself and the world. And then you have, like groups like the KKK and anti-Semitic groups and all kinds of groups around that you can get involved with and get really kind of lose yourself, basically. People turn over their identity sometimes to these groups. So we have to be very careful in our evolution of our consciousness not to get caught up and let another group just kind of take over your own thinking, and how much they do influence you. And on the national level, there's, the MAGA movement. There's authoritarians like Putin and Xi from China and many others that we have to worry about. There's wars throughout the world that is influencing us and making us, think about what we're doing and, how we're doing it. There's religious leaders of the world as well, trying to promote peace and that sort of thing. And there's major, like the United Nations, who is, working to solve problems. But these are all minds, okay? And all these minds are part of what we get involved with. The local minds, the groups, the national minds, and we begin to sort of merge ourselves, our own individual. And the group mind development is very much the same as the individual the individual development, and they need to go through stages. So what happens? How do we create human consciousness and improve human consciousness? Because we live in a egocentric world, basically. We all think of ourselves. And what we do, we emit frequency levels. Okay, we literally do. There, when you say, "Oh, well, send out good vibes to people," well, you're sending out a frequency level, and emotions are frequency levels. So if you think negative, if you think like with anger and all for yourself, and maybe hate or greed and jealousy and all these are frequency levels associated with your thoughts, with your consciousness. Okay, and when you think about love and kindness, empathy, doing good, you're emitting a higher level frequency. It's actually literally higher vibrations. Okay, and you influence the what you send out into the universe influences the other groups within us. Okay, so what we want to do then is to move our evolution, the evolution of our human consciousness, is to move from the egocentric to the other-centered, or the God-centered, meaning we give thought and understanding to many more people. And that raises the frequency level of our consciousness. And as more of the individuals raise their consciousness in their frequency level to this higher level of love and caring and whatnot, then the group consciousness rises, and the whole human consciousness begins to rise as well. So it requires freedom, though. We have to have freedom in order to develop ourselves. You can't be controlled, and you can't be told that you have to develop love and caring for other people. That doesn't work that way. You have to be free to develop that love on your own. And that's the only way it will make a difference. So what we can do is design an education that enhances the evolution of human consciousness by promoting freedom, love, and joy. Okay? And this is the sort of the essence here of the freedom, love, and joy movement, is that in order to raise the human consciousness to a higher level, to evolve as we should, we need an educational environment that provides the freedom and the love and the joy that's required for us to be able to evolve as we should. Okay, so I hope you join our movement, and I thank you for watching. All right.